competing for a life-changing joint modelling contract.
I'm not looking for two separate models, I'm looking for a couple.
But in this contest, it wasn't enough to simply look the part.
There's no point investing in a couple who don't have a strong relationship because they're going to break up and leave us high and dry. This show is 50% about relationships.
Yeah, and 50% about model.
This is the story of the groundbreaking competition, told by the experts.
Come on, you can't be that nice.
I thought it was a joke, to be honest.
What do you think?
I don't think they have a look that the public relate to, buy into, or actually find particularly appealing.
And the couples themselves.
For whatever reason, it was my fault.
I did have a game plan, obviously.
Half of me wanted just to punch him in the face.
I was ready to buy it.
It wasn't a case of we're a threat to everybody else in the competition, it was we're a threat to the judges.
Yeah.
Tonight, we reveal previously unseen footage and take a look at how life has changed for the winners.
We won this for a reason.
This is our future.
As we chart the highs and the lows
Shove that whole thing up your backside.
of the search for Britain's hottest couple.
The couple that are going to win this competition are...
Tonight, we look back at Hot Like Us, the contest for Britain's hottest modelling couple.
Can you grab that skirt? Is that all right?
He's just a bench. Use him. Stretch out.
To get onto the show, the 8 hot pairs had already survived a tough audition process. So what was it that made them stand out from the crowd?
She's got me for life, yeah?
We spent every single day together.
After a nationwide search, the shortlisted couples were pretty fond of themselves.
Well, I fancy myself, I think I'm a 9.
I'd probably say 9.
10.5?
I think I'm about an 8, maybe, or a 7.
I think you're a 10. I say, oh no. Yeah. Well, to me it's a 10.
Then sometimes you just can't get enough of me, so can you do?
Only couples with the strongest looks and best relationships would make it to the final 8. But not everyone made the grade.
Maybe 6 or 7.
He is a nightmare. He is always late. Drunk.
And so after much deliberation, 8 couples were given the keys to this multi-million-pound mansion where they'd compete for a lucrative modelling contract.
Wow.
This is beautiful.
That first impression when you walk in through the gate and you see that massive house.
It was just wow.
But who were the chosen ones who'd be battling it out? Aussie ballroom dancers Alison and Vaughan.
I have a hot body, I work hard for it, and I'm proud of it.
I absolutely agree.
Childhood sweethearts Chanel and Damien.
Whether he likes it or not, he's stuck with me now.
Whether I like it or not.
Jay and page 3 model Becky.
In 10 years' time, I'd like big boobs, a small little waist, and a little family.
Chloe and pro wrestler Leroy.
When it comes to my body, I'll be honest, enough is never enough.
Ultra competitive Tyrone and Selena.
Asking us if we're going to win the show is like asking a cow, does he serve milk?
Married couple Rashna and Munn.
I've trained religiously to get my body to the shape I want it to get.
Katie Price lookalike Sam and businessman Ben.
The type of people I like hanging around with, people with a brain, entrepreneurs, that kind of people.
And with the most modelling experience in the contest, Stuart and Helen.
With my genetics and Helen's genetics, our kids are going to take over the world.
From sex and romance to compatibility and commitment, both their looks and relationships would now be put to the test. And each week, one pair would be sent packing at the judges' casting decision.
The hot couples. Hello.
When we met everybody, first of all, I thought, fantastic, what a great group of people.
Whoa, hello, beautiful people.
Almost immediately, the good-looking couples began sizing each other up. And one pair made an instant impression.
I looked at Helen and thought, she really looks like an Essex girl. I don't know why, but she really looks like an Essex girl. Stuart, I kind of thought, bit cocky.
Right, guys, that's what I'd go through, just what everyone's here for. I want to suss up my competition now. For me, this is work. I'm coming here to work, like.
I'll be honest, I didn't like Stuart at first because I thought he was going to be like sterile or a nasty person in the house.
I was ready to buy it at that point, and I was like, hold up, I can't let loose on the first day.
He was up for winning it. Everyone seems a bit stunned by that.
At the very least, I'll be remembered for being the guy who came in and said, listen, I'm going to win this, so you may as well put your cards out on the table and admit to winning it, which everyone took it really well, I think.
Luckily for Stuart and his new mates, they weren't on their own. There to guide them was former model agent Jonathan Pang, a man responsible for launching hundreds of modelling careers.
Although I've worked in the modelling industry for, 3 decades, I've either represented men or women, but never both at the same time. It wasn't just a straightforward modelling competition, there was a whole nother dimension to this.
It was Jonathan's job to help the aspiring models tackle the many challenges that lay before them.
Hello.
And the first week was all about chemistry.
Tomorrow, you're going to have your first challenge. And it's going to be a lingerie shoot.
Oh, guys. It was a good start to the competition.
And I thought I would get naked straight away. Didn't know.
Got used to it.
Yeah.
As the couple scoured the house for props to pose with, Jonathan wasn't sure what to make of the wannabe models.
My first impressions were very mixed. When I walked into that room and I was faced with 8 couples, clearly some had more modelling potential than others.
And one pair in particular caught his eye.
Roll you out.
My first impression of Ron and Alison was one of bewilderment, actually, because they really stood out, and not in the way that I expected.
I thought they were like hosts of the show, and then they were kind of integrating with the crowd, so I was like, all right, they're contestants. Cool.
We knew we were different because we are practicing Christians. We wouldn't want to lie or cheat it. But obviously, we do come from a place of wanting to kick some ass.
It was fortunate that the born-again Christians were familiar with having a greater power watch over them, because every move they made would now be studied by our 2 experts. Judging the modelling, Jodie Furlong.
I'm Jodie Furlong. I'm a casting director and I own a model agency.
As one of the industry's top casting directors, Jodie has been scouting top models for years.
It's all about the looks.
And he wasn't afraid to tell the couples when they didn't live up to his expectations.
This picture, it's a joke. I just think it looks awkward. You just stood there like a plank. I'm not loving it.
And if the couples thought they'd get off lightly in the relationship department, they had another thing coming.
I want to find a couple with real chemistry, who are there for each other and support each other. I want to find a real partnership.
As a trained psychologist, Emma Kenny knew exactly how to probe into their private lives.
I guess one of the things that's really important to me is whether you want children in the future. I want to know who you are. Do they actually know their partner? Because physical attraction, it doesn't last forever. It's all about communication.
So to win this competition, the couples would have to make both judges happy. That's if they ever saw eye to eye.
This is all about relationships.
It's not all about relationships.
Absolutely, they wouldn't be here unless they were in relationships.
And they wouldn't be here unless they were good looking.
The couple's first ever relationship challenge was to buy the underwear they needed for their lingerie shoot. Easy, except they had to buy it for their other halves.
The reason that I want to send these guys out to buy each other's underwear is because, first of all, I want to know how well they know each other. Do they know each other's size, style? But more importantly, when they come back, it's how they react to each other if they've got it wrong.
And one of the guys who totally got it wrong was 19-year-old Damien.
The main thing I do to know what size it is this. Right, and normally it covers the whole forehead, but this, it's not doing it.
Kind of like, yeah, I know what to get, but at the same time I was like, this really can go wrong.
Damien should have known that out of all of the girls on the shoot, Chanel was not the one to buy the wrong underwear for.
Chanel is a bit of a diva.
I like that.
Oh my god, they're see-through!
I like that, don't I? Is purple not your favourite colour, mate?
I'm not that much of a diva, to be fair, am I? Oh my god, I'd rather go naked.
As far as Chanel was concerned, it was a complete disaster.
Sorry, it's my fault. Come here, just give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
But as soon as they got on set, all she cared about was winning.
She's bossy.
So already tell straight away she was sort of the forefront of their relationship straight away.
So if I do it, you just work around me?
I'll work around you. Cool.
Okay, then.
So was the underwear really that bad? Or was it just a storm in a double G cup?
She's actually wearing the underwear that I bought her.
Yeah.
So, and it fits, and she even said, oh, it does actually fit me.
I must have lost some boob fat.
Another couple who started out on the wrong foot were the ballroom dancing Aussies. Their no sex before marriage rule seemed to put them at a disadvantage.
We're in underwear, right? Having to be sensual and being on TV. It's just, it couldn't have been more challenging, I don't think.
I think that's their way of being sexy, is like to rub their hands all over each other.
But while Vaughn and Alison struggled to be sexy, bronzed beauties Sam and Ben were in their element.
Based on modelling and experience and chemistry, we were the strongest there.
But their spray tans were also the strongest there.
You know, a really big issue for me throughout the whole competition was just how orange everyone was.
Just imagine what their bed sheets are like.
The task was chemistry. I think we nailed it.
Thank you very much.
With the challenges complete, the hot couples were ready for the casting decision. But which pair would be sent home first?
You feel sick, you're sweating, you're just like, oh my gosh.
I think everyone was in the same boat. No, actually no, to be fair, apart from Ben and Sam, who were pretty confident they were staying.
They were winning.
I think they thought they'd won it and got it in the bag.
Well, they didn't have it in the bag.
I've never seen so much fake tan in my life. It was just wrong.
And after Jodie dismissed their look, Ben fought back.
It's my natural colour, I don't wear fake tan, I'm naturally got Italian blood in me. So obviously didn't do your homework very well there.
I was praying, I was going, keep talking, keep arguing, please keep arguing, this is so good.
I was doing a David Beckham look and Sam was doing the things. It wasn't about us, it was...
Oh, I didn't get that at all. At all.
If he hadn't consistently mouthed off at us, we would have kept them in the competition.
I'm afraid you're going home.
Well, first I felt sick. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach.
You know, Sam and Ben are a bit cheesy. Their look is a bit out of date, but they are a great-looking couple, so I was incredibly surprised.
I think for the viewing public, it's a huge loss because we've got so much to offer. You know, anybody, if you do a phone-in poll now, anything like that, you can tell me now this is top 3 photo, 100%. Anyone with 2 brain cells will tell you that now. It very much got personal, as we're a threat to the judges.
Yeah.
Ben left adamant the judges had got it wrong. And on the matter of bronzing himself up, we may never know the answer. Week 2 was all about romance.
Imagine it's Caribbean.
In the modelling challenge, the couples had to create a romantic holiday scene on a freezing cold Blackpool beach.
Smiling Rashna, you're in love, well, you're supposed to be.
And for the relationship challenge, Emma wanted to see just how romantic our couples could be.
She wants you to create something that expresses what romance means to you. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it comes really from your heart, OK?
As the pairs came up with gestures that demonstrated their love for each other, they revealed a lot about their relationships.
We are like 2 best friends. You got my back and stick with me through thick and thin. No matter what the weather, we always stay together. And you're my baby. I want to be with you forever.
But it was Tyrone and Selena's romantic moment that truly touched the rest of the group.
Never let go because people want us to. Never let go because all we have done. Never let go because I do love you. Never let go because the things we have been through.
Their poem was about the difficulties they faced after Selena's family disapproved of their relationship.
Like the Romeo and Juliet story, do you know what I mean? But if you're genuinely in love, you stick at it.
Everyone turned against me. My friends, my family. The only person that was actually there, financially, you know, personally, was Tyrone.
On the lingerie shoot, Emma was impressed by the pair's intense connection.
The way that they're posing is almost protective. It feels like they're looking after each other.
And once again, the couple showed that relationships don't get much stronger than theirs.
It's a shame to say I will never be accepted, but can't.
See, everyone had a little lump.
Yeah, I was welling up there and then. I was like,
you know,
oh my God.
I think Jonathan Pang was in tears, bless him.
The thing for me about Tyrone and Selena was this whole opportunity wasn't just about them becoming models, it was about them confronting some of their big relationship issues with the world and just coming out and saying, you know, we are a couple, we are really bonded, and we really want to make it in the long term. So their story was, for me, one of the ultimate stories.
And whilst Tyrone and Selena had no problems revealing their emotions, super cool Stuart and Helen's collage didn't have the same effect.
We never say I love you to each other ever, because we hate it. We hate it, because everyone says it, so we hate it, so we never say it. Our love's a bit weird, everything has to be a bit different.
I didn't get it when Stuart and Helen said that they don't say I love you. You know, you belong to me and I belong to you. Well, you don't, do you? Because you don't own each other for a start. Like, ownership's completely different. Love's quite free, isn't it? Ownership's like, you know, you can have a dog. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I've gone with you.
You've gone with me.
Stuart and Helen's failure to make themselves understood didn't stand them in good stead in the relationship challenge. But luckily for them, someone was about to make an even bigger faux pas on the morning of the romantic shoot.
How long have you got?
Half an hour.
Oh,
What? Normally when they say, guys, 50 minutes, we go, then normally it takes an hour and a half. In my mind, I kind of thought 50 minutes means an hour and 10 minutes.
Mum was confident he had time for his morning prayers. But in fact, everyone was waiting for him.
I was just gutted because I had another 20 minutes in bed. Believe it, I was fuming.
In Blackpool, top photographer Nikki Johnston blew a gasket.
I understand he's got to pray, but just to make everyone 45 minutes late is a joke.
For sake, finally.
You could tell he wasn't in a good mood.
He wasn't
was
in a mood, he
Was not a
started,
happy bunny,
so-
Nikki Johnson, bless him.
You can't say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late for this shoot.
No, I
Because
apologise.
now it's raining, it wasn't an hour ago.
You could tell, like, at the start, and this kind of one guy you don't want to make angry.
Because they were late, Mun and Rushna were given less time to get their shot. But nevertheless, Mun seemed happy with how it went.
Rashna, you're in love, or you're supposed to be.
I felt that was okay on that one, and I had good feedback from the photographer.
I think we've got it.
Yay!
Well, even though you were late and totally unprofessional, and I hate you.
You've done it!
You did it.
This is crazy.
Even the couples who didn't have to claw their way into Nikki's good books struggled in the extreme conditions.
So windy. Oh, it was a nightmare.
And fearing the impact the cold might have on his picture, Stuart needed support from the wardrobe department.
I'd put a sock down there too, like.
Can I give you cotton instead?
Anything you
It's okay,
want.
it's just a little bit smoother and a little bit flatter.
Stuart entered the contest full of bravado.
Some might need a little bit more than others.
But he was beginning to doubt if he really was the complete package.
Stop playing with your nuts and worry about your arm.
Because it was cold, I wanted to make sure I didn't look shy.
A bit more confidence for you there.
When it came to the casting decision, the judges didn't hold back. Stuart and Helen's refusal to say I love you baffled Emma.
I just think you're so affected. If you love each other, you love each other. It's simple. It's a word that's designed to be a cliche and a stereotype because it has meaning.
Do you believe that you've misinterpreted us?
I don't think I've misinterpreted you. I think I've interpreted what you've presented.
Yeah, maybe trying too hard to not be us. Maybe we should just relax and be us.
I think what they were trying to get across was they have never felt as connected with another human being as they do with each other. And because of that, they wanted something unique to describe that experience. Unfortunately, by suggesting love was a cliche, immediately you had my back up.
And Mun and Rashna angered Jodie with their lack of professionalism.
I heard that you were all late on set.
I did get everyone late, and I take a criticism on board, and I promise you it won't happen again. Trained 3 months solid for this. I focused, and for me it was my make it or break it.
But it was too late for the married couple.
The couple who are going home is Mun and Rashna.
Get away from me.
None of us wanted to see anyone be that upset when they got kicked out, but I think it just showed how important this competition was to him.
One day, I want to get my car and just go home to my kids. I didn't handle it as well as I should have. It meant a lot for me, and I felt it was a chance to prove to myself and to everybody else, yes, I can do it. And I'll be honest, I couldn't see anything other than defeat. I just was defeated. I might be the Rocky Balboa of the modelling world. I keep getting put on the bum, and I keep getting up looking for that one lucky punch, and I'm still looking for that one lucky punch.
To get into the competition, our wannabe models proved they could walk the walk, but they also showed they could talk the talk.
We are Mr. and Mrs. Marbella.
We'll go hard or go home, and I don't want to go home.
I was voted the top 10 best looking South Asian male.
Aussie born-again Christians Alison and Vaughan came with their own collection of catchphrases.
We are 100% awesome.
They say jump, we'll say.
How high?
We have a relationship motto, which is
You wish you had this.
And when it came to describing his looks, Stuart wasn't backwards in coming forwards.
I think I'm genetically blessed.
But one member of the group was truly blessed with the gift of the gab.
I think we've got a 99.9% chance of winning. We're the black version of Posh and Bex.
Tyrone's secret weapon was his mouth.
Put it this way, the horns have come out of me, and as you can see, they're still on my head. If you overcome a fear, there's nothing else what can actually become your fear, you know what I mean? If you need a pencil to do an essay, go to the shop and buy the pencil. The tortoise always wins the race, you know what I mean? When you whisper, somebody will be listening.
And when it came to describing himself, Tyrone was never lost for words.
I'm so charming, I think I could sell a man his own briefcase. And I'm so cocky, I think I could sell a man his own moustache. Asking us if we're going to win the show is like asking a cow, does he serve milk? Do you know what I mean? Nobody's a threat to me. We're so hot, we'll burn your mouth. Bully can't bully a bully. We're like sharks in a fish pond. If you put a shark in a goldfish pond, the shark shouldn't be afraid, and the shark doesn't get scared of any of the fish. You put me in the jungle naked, and I'll come out with a chinchilla outfit and a lion hat. Got the looks, got the suave, and I've got that as well. You're probably thinking, has he got a book at home where he reads all these metaphors? I don't at all, like, seriously.
By week 3, the competition was well and truly hotting up as the couples were tested on seduction.
Oh, look. Oh, you've done this before.
In the relationship challenge, Emma asked them to relive the time they first fell for each other.
I want you to think about the moment that you looked at your partner, where you suddenly go from, oh, this is all right, to, I really want that person.
When it happened, I got that feeling of, oh my God, I really want that boy. Yeah, I did as well. It was really weird. So we got out the bread, we got out the salad to make our chicken sandwiches, and he bloody forgot the chicken.
And in the modelling challenge, the couples competed for roles in a sexy vampire music video, alongside grime star Lethal Bizzle.
I was just over the moon. It was probably one of the most exciting and best challenges for me.
Well, guys, just absolutely smash it.
It kind of gave us edge against our competitors, didn't they? Because some of them didn't even know who he was.
I never in a million years thought that I was going to be in an R&B music video. I mean, just looking at me, I'm not exactly hip-hop material.
As usual, the competitive Tyrone and Selena wanted to ace this challenge.
They want me to go butt naked and do the worm. I'm wrong to do it, you know what I mean?
But when it came to impressing the director, Tyrone tried his best to land a lead part.
And this is his gnarly, scary... It's not a pantomime, you know what I mean?
But lost out to pro wrestler Leroy.
As soon as I heard there's an acting role, I was like, that has to be mine. And what I do, smashed it, got the role.
Kill him! Yeah, there you go, that's what I'm talking about.
And Selena was outclassed by Chanel, who won the starring role as a vampire lap dancer.
I was really happy to get like the lead role that I did, because obviously that's the one that all the girls were aiming for.
You're definitely ticking the hot box right now.
On the shoot, Chanel and Leroy enjoyed the limelight, whilst background artists Tyrone and Selena had to wait their turn.
Tell you the truth, I do feel sometimes that we get kind of like picked on.
Now, Tyrone was very confident, and his confidence can take you so far, but then you kind of get hit by a wall where reality kicks in.
Then, just when the director needed them most...
Mate, we don't have time. You don't seem to understand. We lose the artist in about 2 minutes.
The pair weren't ready.
We need you on set. Quickly, put your clothes back on. Get them back on set, please.
Damn.
Celine got changed because she thought we'd finished with her because we finished shooting her clothes up. I needed her for the while, so now we're starting waiting for her to get changed back into her costume. So this is costing money. We're ready.
After messing up the shoot, relations with the other couples hit an all-time low.
You are not going to talk to me like that. You can shove that whole thing up your backside.
And after deciding that everyone was against them, Tyrone wanted to leave the competition.
I feel like I've completed what I came in here for. If I want to model, I want to just go straight into modeling. I don't need to run crazy tasks.
There's a big gap in the middle. Someone missing. What's going on?
What's going on? From my point of view, they were contenders. Their relationship was awesome. She was incredibly beautiful.
I can stay here and be happy and enjoy everything that we're doing still, but he won't be happy. Yeah. So it's not going to work. Yeah, we need to be on the same wavelength.
But it made sense because, as far as they were concerned, they'd done the journey that they needed to go. The distance had been travelled, and there was no point staying any longer.
Thank you.
I believe that they felt that they may have been eliminated that week because they weren't as strong as everybody else in that particular challenge.
For them to walk off was a real shame because I thought she really wanted to do the modelling thing.
They just left, didn't say goodbyes to anyone. But I just thought it was quite rude, to be honest.
But they'd actually done everyone a massive favour.
Because they decided to quit, there's no elimination.
And for me, obviously, when they left, there was a massive sigh of relief because you think, well, that's one person less that we've got to deal with because they were competition. There's no two ways about it.
The 8 couples that entered the house were confident they had strong relationships and certain that they looked great. But those weren't their only talents. From singing to dancing to comedy
What do you think?
and drama. The wannabe models were truly multi-talented. But who was the most skilled of them all? It's fair to say that nobody had more strings to their bow than the man that is Leroy Kincaid.
This is me, and this is just who I am when I spit a deep rhyme every time I jam.
He can do stuntman, modelling, trampolining, wrestling, acting.
And also do paranormal investigation as well.
Would you please make your presence known?
Many talents, that boy.
Leroy Kincaid, this is how it is. Well, yeah.
In week 4, the couples were tested on expressing emotions.
Modelling is all about communication through your body language and through your eyes. And the best models in the world are true chameleons.
And the modelling challenge would involve a trip to an exotic location.
Models have to sort of pack a bag and end up in all sorts of places at any time, right? They have to be able to cope in whatever situation they're thrown into. Sometimes it's going to be a 5-star hotel, and sometimes it's going to be a shack on the beach.
And their glamorous destination was...
We're going to take you into the wild of the Yorkshire Dales.
Where is Yorkshire anyway?
Got an idea?
Yorkshire Dales.
Yeah, not really the place that I would go to, just a little bit too much countryside for me.
When we're driving up there, I was just thinking, where are we?
Yeah, I think
like,
we were.
where are they taking us?
I hate the countryside. I don't want to go to Yorkshire.
The shoot would see the couples recreate famous scenes from fairy tales.
Then you'll be expected to communicate the emotions of the well-loved stories.
And to find a perfect fit for the modelling contract, Jodie wanted to see how they coped with the harsh realities of high fashion.
I've asked for all the clothes to be brought in a sample size, which is basically a 6 to 8. That's the reality of a fashion shoot. Designers don't change their clothing sizes for the models models have to fit into the clothes.
Some of the wannabes had no trouble getting into their outfits.
Fawn and Elson worked wonders. Fawn, perfect sample size.
At 6 foot, Jay was also the perfect size.
I mean, I didn't struggle too
No,
badly.
with nothing.
Yeah, my dress fits quite well.
Your dress?
What do you think?
But Becky fell short of the mark.
Very long. Very long. You know, and a 5'7" girl, absolutely perfect. And a 5'3" girl, it's absolutely drowning her.
And when it came to Leroy and Chloe, it was a case of little and large.
So how tall are you?
5 foot.
5 foot?
Yeah. My dress was massive. Like, he said it was a size 10, but it was huge. Like, I couldn't... If I had to stand up, it would just fall down.
Can I have some pins, Rach?
It was made for a 5'8", and I'm 5'1", near enough.
But Chloe's problems were tiny in relation to bodybuilder Leroy's.
Leroy just isn't the shape of a model.
They're sitting on the butt. At the moment, they're tight on the butt at the minute.
Yeah. Really scared.
I think that's
Oh, no!
The poor boy was just bursting out all over.
Even the couples who did get into their clothes found it hard giving the photographer the emotions he wanted.
A bit coy, Stuart. Lose the expression like that. That's it.
They were terrible that day, do you remember?
Need you close together? But not too balletic. It wasn't a fashion shoot. That was like a dance shoot.
But nobody's day in the country could have turned out worse than Leroy and Chloe's.
When, you know, you seen him rock up in them skinny trousers, like, oh no.
Why are your trousers undone?
Because they don't fit around the legs. So I've got to try and style it out as best as possible.
Do you want to borrow mine? I mean,
please, it'd help.
My trousers wouldn't do up, they were too tight, the jacket wouldn't fit, And to top it off, I was hanging from a tree.
When it came to the casting decision, Becky's height was the cause of much debate.
How tall are you, Becky?
5'3".
How tall are you, Becky?
I am 5'3". I am 5'2" and 3/4.
3/4 is important, by the way.
It is important because I could be 5'3", you know.
I think you're smaller than that. The stylist thinks you're quite much smaller than that.
But Becky was off the hook because bodybuilder Leroy and 5'1" Chloe had even more trouble with the sample-sized clothes.
Chloe, you were safe by being laying down, because if you'd had to stand up, that dress would have been all over the floor. And Leroy, there's pictures we could have picked with your flies completely open because you couldn't get your trousers done up.
But oh my gosh, if it was just a picture of Chloe, it would have been an amazing picture.
Leroy, here, you're hanging from a tree. You look like King Kong.
He just reminded me of like Tarzan.
From the tree?
He's had one arm on the tree and then like...
it was so funny.
In the end, it was Leroy's trousers that led to his undoing.
Going home is Leroy and Chloe.
Before we even came into the house, I knew we're probably going to be at some disadvantage because there's not many guys 14 or so stone at 5'9", you know. So to get this far is still an amazing thing, you know.
Guys, how you feeling? I hope don't feel bad about being eliminated because they got a lot further than I thought they were going to, given the fact that neither of them look like traditional models.
I think it's really nice to know that during the whole time, we hadn't been criticised on our relationship at all. I mean, we knew how strong we were before we came in.
Regardless of this, you know, I got home with my prize anyway. So I'm happy.
By week 5, 4 couples were left in the running for the modelling contract. Aussie ballroom dancers Vaughan and Alison, fiery Damien and Chanel, Jay and glamour girl Becky, and the most experienced contenders, Stuart and Helen. To make it to the final week, the 4 couples were going to have to prove they were compatible, both physically and emotionally.
Just because you're compatible in real life, as you clearly are, it doesn't mean that that's going to come across in the photographs.
In the modelling challenge, the boys had to pose as real-life heroes.
Mr. Pie Fighter, how are you going to get them close to you? Like a real doctor.
While the girls played their damsels in distress. After the shoot in the Yorkshire Dales, Becky was out to prove that despite their height difference, her and Jay could be compatible for the camera.
It's a great expression, Jay, I like that.
And the photographer was wowed by her performance.
Can't flaw Becky at all. Absolutely flawless.
The moment Becky got into the final for me was how I saw her perform on the green screen challenge.
That's it, yes. Yay!
But then it came to Vaughan and Alison.
Check out my guns, literally.
Whilst Vaughan struggled to make a convincing policeman.
It's a bit more like a gay traffic warden.
Let's not have you looking like a friendly milkman.
Alison couldn't get over the fact that their photo featured a tarantula.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys have got faith. You'll be fine. If she's not for you, you won't book her.
No, sorry.
Fair enough.
Gorgeous. Beautiful.
With the other couples on fire, Vaughan and Alison's only hope was to ace Emma's Mr. and Mrs. relationship challenge.
We're creating a brand, and within that brand, we need to know that you're going to be together.
Which is exactly what they did.
We did do better in the relationship thing.
Yeah. When would you like to get married?
But I know she wants to get married before she's 30.
Before I'm 30?
What are you most scared of?
She's most scared of me dying before her.
But Vaughan dying first, definitely.
I was just blown away by Vaughan and Alison. But at the same time, they don't have sex. There's a lot of time, I reckon, for talking.
Hi, Becky, you can sit down.
The compatibility test was based around some harmless questions.
Right, what was her most embarrassing moment?
Farting in her sleep.
Can I just say that I don't fart in my sleep?
She does.
But it uncovered a much more serious problem for Damien and Chanel.
If you didn't have Chanel here, and you had to select an individual that you most fancied.
As in this house?
Yeah.
Chanel said no one, and I said, and then when Emma asked me, I said Becky.
So really, he just wanted to ditch me and go another with Becky? Oh, they asked about fancy and that's it? Who would you fancy?
Well,
I said no one.
I said Becky.
What did you say?
Because she's funny. Well, I didn't really say anything, I just thought because she's kind of like the closest person to you, really.
She wasn't just a little bit annoyed. Her body language was really, really clear. She was saying, sod off.
Give me a kiss. No. What's the matter?
Nothing.
I just felt really like, oh, please don't let it cause friction between me and Chanel, because, you know, instantly if someone says that, it's a bit like, oh God.
Is she much better?
Who? Oh, this is what this whole thing's about.
And at the end of the day, obviously Damien's not going to run off with Becky. I mean, I know this. So it didn't at all. I still loved her.
Damien was firmly in Chanel's bad books, much to the delight of ballroom dancer Vaughn. From day one, he was convinced that Damien didn't like it when Chanel worked with the other guys on photo shoots.
You're a strong girl, but I feel that there's more fire in your relationship than you're actually letting out, and that is going to cause a problem. I did have a game plan, obviously, because going into competition you need to think out strategies and stuff, but my strategy never involves lying or putting people on the spot.
But in a contest where relationships mattered, Vaughn was determined to expose what he thought was a jealous streak.
How comfortable did you feel, though, watching?
I was actually fine. No, what I said was...
I didn't love it, but you told me this, that you were off with the light.
I was not... No. Half of me just wanted to laugh so much, and half of me wanted to just punch him in the face.
Not at the time, but...
No, at the time, I was like, I'm not sure if I like this.
That was just his game plan, just to twist things, or get something twisted and make other people look bad.
Vaughn, I think, is a deeply misunderstood character at times. He's just honest. And he kind of saw things and wanted to front things that other people weren't willing to.
In a competition, you know, all's fair in love and war.
You can't stop looking at me, staring at me, be what I be. You can't stop looking at me, so get up on my
And so in the final challenge, it was left to the public to decide who they thought were the most compatible.
What I need you to do is have a proper look at all the couples, and then put a mark on the bottom of the window of the couple that you think are the most compatible, the ones that look best together.
The shop window challenge was the first time the public got to see our couples, critique them, and give us their feedback.
There's something about this set that makes them seem a little bit pretentious in some way.
He looks a little bit awkward, like he doesn't want to be here.
Thankfully for Damien and Chanel, the passers-by picked them as joint favourites. Vaughn and Alison were last.
I have to say, I wasn't surprised by the public's reaction at all. Unfortunately, I don't think they have a look that the public relate to, buy into, or actually find particularly appealing.
At the casting decision, Emma wasn't happy with the youngest couple.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, Damo, you could...
You were in a mood, you were in a mood. I can kind of see an issue regarding jealousy.
But once their photo was revealed...
I'm confused. Is it comedy, isn't it a comedy shot? I think you're a little bit over the top, Alison.
It was clear that Vaughn and Alison just didn't have the looks to make it to the final.
There was a point in the competition where they had to leave. You know, there was a point where Jodie, I think, would have physically attacked me had I not just accepted that they were maybe not the best models in the competition. Alison and Vaughn, we're going to send you home.
I literally just thought, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, it's about time they went.
When he left, especially, he looked at me, and he went to me, well played, mate.
Well played. Good game. Enjoy.
And I went, I just thought, oh, whatever.
Absolutely, I want to be in the final and to win this. That's a definite. But at the same token, we already could see from what was happening that we were gone.
And so, after 5 grueling weeks, Stuart and Helen, Becky and Jay, and Damien and Chanel made it to the final.
I never ever thought I'd make it to week 6, honestly.
Couldn't believe it, you know, this competition was so tough. And the fact that we were sitting there in the final like that, oh my God.
We went from the first week and I was convinced we were going, and then we're in the finals, and it was crazy.
You get to the final, you think, well, I want to win it now.
Yeah.
I don't want to go home.
And now their commitment would be tested.
Commitment to yourselves, commitment to each other as couples, and commitment to modelling.
Emma's relationship challenge would see if they could mix work with her family.
Remember your last time? After we were going to pack, guys.
Relax.
And for the final modelling test, the pairs took part in a terrifying bride and groom catwalk show.
Becky just shone on the catwalk. Now, she's the shortest of the lot, but she stood really tall when she was out there.
But for the most important photo shoot of the final, the couples had to create an image that encapsulated their personalities.
Your task tomorrow is to deliver that one image that embodies you. One image. It is your signature statement.
The final three couples had to show the judges what their brand would look like if they won the joint modelling contract. And they had to decide on every aspect of their image.
Yeah, like that, that's it. There you go. From going to not modelling at all to making up a complete set, our own clothes, we tell them what makeup we want. If you asked me to do that in the first week, I think I would have just cried. I just sat on the floor and cried.
After all the criticism they'd received about their relationship, Damien and Chanel's plan was to harness their edginess to create a fiery photo.
In photos, you should look quite fierce as well. Try to look quite fierce, because that's what you are.
And on the shoot, sparks flew.
We've got to look at that and believe that you're desperate for her, even though you've just had an enormous row, probably, downstairs. Fabulous. Let's have a look at that.
After just making it to the final, Stuart appeared to have regained his confidence, and he and Helen arrived at the shoot the most prepared.
Through the competition, I've been told by other judges that I waffle too much and go on. We're going to try and play a little bit on that. They're sort of telling me to be quiet.
Yeah.
And she's sort of saying shh, in like quite a
Funny way.
teasy,
Right.
engaging way.
That you could see exactly where they were going with the way they were dressed. It was completely them. But what their ideas about it was, alright, don't really understand that.
So sexy, I'm sexy, so come and dance with Michael.
Well done, guys. We'll put those in. Give us a couple of mins.
I'm flipping well happy. The whole thing went, yeah.
And because we've been so prepared, it was our game, really.
But when it came to deciding on their picture, Jay and Becky didn't have a clue.
This is it now. You know, we've got a massive challenge on our hands, and you know, it was so tough because you literally had to think about everything.
We're definitely overthinking this.
I know, it's because there's so much pressure.
And when someone says you're gonna have to do it all, you think, oh my god, and you start panicking. And it was, don't get me wrong, it was probably the most stressful week of our lives, wasn't it?
Fortunately, they had some last-minute inspiration.
Becky and Jay's brief is fun-loving, which, to me, has got cheese written all over it. And the thing that's also not helping is she's got a mustard top.
It might have looked a little bit cheesy, didn't it? But overall, that's us. We're just a cute couple.
They actually, as a wholesome, loving couple, actually it works. Fabulous. Should we have a look at those images?
It was time to reveal who would win the modelling contract. At the final casting decision, the pair's images were revealed.
I would like more eye contact from Becky because I think of this couple, no disrespect to Jay, but Becky is the personality.
I would change a lot.
I would have gone a lot more sexier.
I'd stick with close to home with personality, but
Yeah,
I'd
definitely.
focus a lot more on just the final image because that's what sells. And let's not beat around the bush, sex sells.
So would Stuart and Helen's image impress the judges?
Where you lost me was with your concept, which isn't a concept. Helen's strong and I talk too much. That's not a brand.
It seemed only one of the couples had got it right.
At last, I've found someone who actually understood what this was all about and did it properly. It's exactly what I would have done for you as well.
Pull up in your fast car, whistling my name.
When the time came to lose one of the couples, the judges didn't hesitate in handing out third place.
Stuart and Helen, I haven't seen any progression really, and we're talking about the same issues this week that we were talking about the first week.
And I'm not sure that you'd be really able, as a brand, to open yourselves up to the public.
For those reasons, you're going home.
Having entered the contest with high hopes, Stuart and Helen never lived up to their billing.
I was like, yes, because I thought they were going to win. I saw them as our biggest competition, and when they went, I was just like, maybe we do have a slight chance.
Just thought, right, come on, we can do this now. This is it.
We can actually do this.
If you asked me in week 1 who would be the final 2 couples, I would not have said it would have been Damien and Chanel and Jay and Becky at all. However, for very different reasons, they both deserve their places in the final.
So the next few minutes are probably the most important few minutes of the whole competition, because I need to know now exactly why you should win this.
We've got the highest likability factor, and we don't believe these two won it half as much as we do.
Oh, the final was horrible because Becky and Jay are like the sugar coating on the sweetest cereal, aren't they?
With them, it's a happy image, which is lovely, but we are more edgy. I think people, if they see us in a magazine, they'll want to know more about us. If people see them all happy and smiling, it might come across fake. That was an insult.
I was pretty gobsmacked seeing the new Becky fight for survival to try and win this competition because, boy, did she let Chanel and Damien have it.
Jealousy is the nastiest trait you can possibly have. And I'm sorry, but if you can't stick by your man, it's no good having that face because it ain't gonna last.
I did get angry a bit, like, because I know I'm not like that. It's just like, I can't let it slip from my fingers right now. Like, I'll be devastated if it happens. We look better together. That's all I'm saying.
It's there. It's like in front of you dangling, and you just gotta grab it.
If you're not going to turn up to the shoot because you've had an argument, then it doesn't matter what you look like, because you're not going to be at the job and you're going to create a bad reputation, and that's a huge risk to take with Damien and Chanel. You could be the best models in the world, but if you haven't got a strong relationship,
you're going nowhere.
Before delivering their verdict, the judges deliberated one last time.
Jay and Becky, I don't know if the public can buy into this nicey-nicey thing all the time.
Yeah, I don't feel that there's sexual energy and chemistry that much around them. I mean, Damien and Chanel to be in the final for me feels strange because obviously they're the people who've caused me most concern.
So Jay and Becky, you know that I've got issues with you as a modelling couple and how compatible you are.
Damien and Chanel, I've been able to witness you come together and show a great amount of determination and maturity for what really is a very young age.
So, the couple that are going to win this competition are...
I was just going in my head, Jay and Becky, Jay and Becky, Jay and Becky, Jay and Becky. I'm just going to say Jay and Becky.
I was preparing myself. I was like, I'm going to be a good loser. I'm going to shake their hands. I'm going to tell them well done, and I'm going to be happy for them.
So close to going either way. I don't think they could have picked between the relationships.
No.
I think it was more down to who's going to sell more as a brand.
Damien and Chanel.
Oh my God.
When he said it, I was like, did he really just say our name? Like, I didn't know how to react. I was sitting there, I was like, what should I do? Should I be like, jumping up and down, crying, stand there? We were in so much shock. It was unbelievable. It just felt like everything we wanted.
We probably are, you know, just slightly less compatible looking together.
I was really pleased that Damien and Chanel won the competition. I just think they look so gorgeous together. And I know you had issues at the beginning, but I just thought they really listened to what we said and they really worked on it. And at the end, I thought they were brilliant.
There you go, baby.
Sure.
Congratulations.
There was so much we overcome, and I just think it's made us great since then.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
What's
you.
your name?
I'm Chanel.
Chanel, Paul.
Hiya.
2 weeks later, and Britain's hottest couple are in Chelsea to sign their contract with international model agency Nebs.
The one thing is we do get lots of things where the clients want